How often do you find yourself thinking about the world's true destiny? What if I told you that you can completely change it by making everyday decisions? Should you make an effort to change it or just accept it? In today's story, we will see Jesus' true forecasts about the future and his lessons on the power of choice. Furthermore, after watching this film, you will surely have a solid grip on the subject of religion, even if you are still unsure. At the age of 5, I went on a pony ride with my parents, twin sister, and a friend named Fireball. My father was excited to show off our riding prowess to a friend of his. Because I was the bolder of the two of us, my father chose me to show off. Riding was not possible in the muddy pen. Unconcerned, I knew this. I began galloping about and performing my tricks. The pony's legs crossed to the left as the reins moved to the right. We fell towards the barrier, and I could feel it. Suddenly, I was perched high above my own body, watching the countryside below in a full circle. I saw the pony's hindquarters tighten up. I could see a small portion of my pink jacket by the wither beneath the pony. I felt pain-free and emancipated. Emotions and terror were non-existent. I was hyper-aware that I was still myself, and my mind was clear despite the fact that I had no emotional connection to the body beneath the horse. Looking down at the spectacle, I gradually continued to rise. My mother's cries pierced the air. My sister waited horrified at the entrance while my parents rushed over to greet me. Then, despite my ongoing phobia of the dark, I found myself in an unending expanse of absolute darkness. Couldn't see anyone, but I could hear them talking. I questioned everything. My mind gave me the answers to the seemingly infinite stream of questions I asked. Realized that even if anything was done with terrible intentions, it eventually served a larger purpose. Everything was just fine in its own way. I wanted to learn more about religion and how large the cosmos is. This being was incredibly nice and patient with my numerous questions. I felt like I stayed here for a long time. I was ecstatic and intelligent. Flash of light ensued. In an instant, I found myself in a world of massive marble monuments and the whitest clouds imaginable. Scurrying people were everywhere. It appeared that there was light coming from every way. Even the most minute details may be illuminated. A sight to behold. A crowd of people came to visit me. They must have recognized me, as they were pleased to see me. Who were they? I had no idea. Persevered in inquiring further with these businesses. I had to withdraw from the group because the amount of love and information was overwhelming. My subsequent remembrance occurred at the base of a set of marble stairs. 2 towering figures wore white robes. They were angels, I'd like to remark. Their masculinity and beauty terrified people. The blonde angel had long, wavy hair, whereas the other angel had darker hair. Even though they were both familiar with me, I was curious about their identities. Recognized I knew them when they brought it to my attention. They were pleased to see me, and my own feelings of excitement and vertigo were obvious. They stated that someone wanted to speak with me and looked up the stairs. I felt like I was floating up the stairs. I believe that Jesus was the most important person I encountered. My life definitely lacked what he required from me. I was embarrassed to be around such a powerful individual and realized that I had lost sight of my life's mission. He had to remind me that he gave me this existence and then ask me what I did with it, and I felt ashamed by it. To me, it appeared that he loved and understood me. Someone informed me that I should return. I was shown the reason I needed to return to my body in my next recall. Therefore, I must have declined. Consider your parents, he said. What will happen to them after you die? The fact that I hadn't thought of them since drifting off to this spot struck me as peculiar. If I did not return, he showed me on a see-through screen what my parents and sister would go through. It represented their lives from start to finish, which were full of grief and difficulties, because I was not present. It crushed my heart that they had to go through this. could tell from his expression that my loved ones will soon be joining me. And he said, "This is your life's purpose." As he depicted my future on the screen, I saw myself enthusiastically participating in religious activities. Until around 2 or 3 years ago, I spent little of my adult life involved in church activities. Our frequent journeys have resulted in a strong sensation of déjà vu. Things appear to be a slideshow or a live snapshot on an iPhone, but for those little minutes, I am completely present and experiencing the same emotions as the vision. I anticipated getting married and having a family of 3. I predicted the fortunes of all of them. My actions had an indirect impact on the people in my life, and I was aware of this. Every small decision I made would have an impact on our future. I currently have 3 sons, and they all look like what I anticipated. My adopted adolescent daughter was not in my 19th dimensional fantasy. Everything I've learned about free will and choice has confirmed my opinion that every action, no matter how tiny, has the potential to alter our future. The gift of life is priceless, and I realized that my materialistic perspective was depriving me of its genuine purpose. He showed me an image of Earth that looked like a distant satellite. I detect an energy shift, which he says is the start of a dark period on Earth, a time of great sorrow and sadness from the Creator. I believe this is happening right now. We are being called to improve our circumstances while not losing sight of our goal, or else the world will be oppressed and wretched. The situation was characterized by a strong determination to fight for the pleasure and success of current and future generations. I knew I needed to return to accomplish my job. I believe the darkest hour is approaching because we are at a crossroads. What we do today will decide whether we live in a serene, paradisal world or a harsh, violent one. If we continue to consume and damage the environment, we will face a gloomy future. Another option is to live simply while giving our children a full, natural upbringing. Just for that moment, I had an overpowering want to return. My ambitions were to be a shining example of goodness and to discover my life's purpose. The desire to return and make an effect was strong. It was inevitable. I was convinced I would return, and I knew it wouldn't take long. It would be as fast as a blink. The moment the thought occurred to me, I felt as if I were being drawn down into a dark vortex tunnel that coiled down to earth. As I descended, I became aware that the tunnel's base was surrounded by terrible beings. They went overlooked. Their location and purpose were conveyed to me in an instant. Even in the pre-trip darkness, I knew it was the companion. I was back to my bodily state. While my sister and mother held me in the water, I was a tiny girl. There was a chill and restriction that made my spirit feel out of place. Anguish, anxiety, and uncertainty have replaced wisdom, affection, and peace. Everything was so dreary, and I felt foolish and alone once again. Dirt was in my mouth as I sobbed. Surprisingly, I did not feel any physical pain throughout the event. I don't remember anything that happened after my parents grabbed me from beneath the pony and carried me to the bathtub. According to my parents, I was whisked into the muck and emerged unhurt, with no scrapes, bruises, or breaks. All praise goes to God. Okay, that finishes today's video. Leave a comment telling me what you thought of it.